As you guys may already know, I haven't talked too much about the original Modern Warfare trilogy. I've talked a little bit about it and we've covered the story of 1 and 2. We haven't covered the story of 3 because the remaster hasn't come out yet and I've been waiting on it before we play it. So I mentioned that in my previous video where we talked about the Modern Warfare 3 remaster potentially releasing very soon or getting a release date. Some people were commenting about the secret ending for MW3, and some people in the comments were replying to that, the secret what? And it's like, some people didn't know that there was a secret ending that was uncovered about a year or two ago for MW3. Now, I never covered it here. I never talked about it for many reasons. But the main reason was because we hadn't played the game here on the channel. And if we haven't played the game here on the channel, there's no point in me talking about something that we haven't gone through together. So again, all of that stuff and all those conversations could have waited until after we played the campaign for MW3 here on the channel. But since there's a lot of conversation surrounding the MW3 remaster right now, and today, January 22nd, 2026, there might be a reveal at the Xbox Developers Direct, maybe. I wanted to talk about this campaign remastered secret ending. Now, the secret ending basically starts where Makarov is dead and hanging in the Dubai hotel. And Price is kind of smoking his cigar, looking up, and the body is just swinging. And as Price is sitting there, kind of very severely injured, I would assume, there's this footsteps that come out. And you hear somebody walking, and then somebody appears all the way in the distance in the back behind Makarov's body. And he's kind of looking at you. It's like this shadowy figure, and you can't really make out who he is. He looks kind of bald from a distance. He's wearing some sort of suit, and then he slowly turns around and walks away. And as he's walking away, Price lets go of his cigar and like puts his head down and very slowly closes his eyes. Like his eyesight kind of fades away. And so a lot of people have taken that to mean that Price probably died from his wounds after the ending of MW3, after the defeat of Makarov. And so a lot of people have run with that, and I could see that happening. A lot of people have stated that maybe this shadowy man was death itself, death coming for Makarov and Price, welcoming them into hell. That was a conversation that a lot of people were having. That was a lot of the debate that I saw on Reddit, a lot of the debate that I saw on the comments down below. And so my point is this: I could get behind that. I could get behind that being death manifested into a person and welcoming Price to his eternal hell. Like, it's fucked up and it's a dark ending, but I could see that happening and it could make sense. And you know, again, it could be one of those things where it's just a post-credit scene ending for a fourth game that was going to be teased, that was going to come out, but it never really saw the light of day because they decided to go in a different direction. I mean, Call of Duty changed quite a bit after 2011, and you know, it did things differently. So I could see that happening as well. But the beauty of covering this such a long time after it was released, or such a long time after all the buzz around it kind of ended, was that there were more interviews on it. And a interview that came out on Dan Allen Gaming, where he interviewed Glenn Schofield and other people behind the making of MW3, he was asked about the secret ending. And this interview came out about a year ago, and it's at the very end of the video, and he talks about this secret ending in particular, and they ask him who he was and basically what it meant. And they all were in agreement that it was a placeholder. They said, we never really intended him to be anybody yet. It was more so a teaser maybe for what would happen next. But they said that they weren't even sure that if he was part of Makarov's group. They really weren't sure of anything. They said they just did it just in case. It was just a teaser. But the man itself isn't anybody in particular. It's not Zakaev. It's sadly not Death. It's not a man that was working Makarov from behind the shadows, or somebody that he knew, or someone that was going to take up his plan in case he died, or whatever the case is. It wasn't any of that, because Glenn Schofield, the people behind MW3, the people who made this secret ending and cut it, said that they had nobody in mind for when they did it. It was just a placeholder, really. So it really defeats the purpose of any debate or any theories. But obviously, you know, you can make up any scenario that kind of fits your ideas best. I mean, it was cut for a reason. It's not considered canon and all that stuff, right? But you could say that it is Death itself coming for Price. So that's an interesting way to look at it, and if that's satisfying for you, then that should be enough. But I will say this, with Modern Warfare 3 campaign remaster seemingly likely, right? We talked about this in our last video. Is it coming out or not? I don't know. I mean, it seems like it will. It seems like they need to release it no matter fucking what, because we've talked about the MW3 remaster here and there. We talked about it 9 months ago. We might have talked about it before. It's almost like this yearly thing of like, hey, when is it coming out? We know you guys have it. Just fucking release it. So my point is this. If they do release the MW3 remaster, whether it's just the campaign or the full thing, I'm not too sure. Do you think they could restore this secret ending, this post-credit scene that was cut, and make it part of the official game? Do you think they would replace maybe the ending that was there before or add this ending as well? If you do that, right? If you do restore this ending, could you create that man to actually be somebody that actually sets up the next chapter? Now, there's obviously been conversations surrounding the game of like, well, you know, it could have been Victor Ramos from Call of Duty Ghost, and Ghost was supposed to be a complete sequel to MW3, but yada, yada, yada. You could do that, or you could just go in a completely different direction, right? You could say, all right, let's make this guy somebody, I don't know, maybe a guy that was working Makarov behind the shadows that nobody knows. And then this is where it gets a little crazy here, and this is where shit starts not making sense, and you're like, bro, shut the fuck up, get off your computer, and get out of here, right? But what if they re-include this cut ending into the Modern Warfare 3 remaster, and it helps set up a continuation of the original Modern Warfare storyline? What if it gives us like a new game titled Modern Warfare 4 The Return? I don't know, dog. But like, what if it was able to continue the story from that original trilogy, but it continues obviously without the main core and the main cast of characters? No Price, no, because everybody's gone, right? So it would be like a new unit picking up and saying, oh, this is what Task Force 141 did. This is how they destroyed Makarov. This is how they killed Makarov. But now something else rose in his place, and now a new team has to come up and form a new Task Force 141 and continue that fight. You know, I don't know. Is that crazy? Is that like, yo, you're beating a dead horse here? Why the fuck would you do that? Like, you're gonna ruin the trilogy. You're gonna, you know, ruin what they had. The original writers, the original people behind the game aren't even there, so would it even be considered canon? There's a lot that you could do potentially if you do a remaster for the campaign. Maybe you could set something up for like a follow-up to this game, because like we know, right, there's been a lot of hate towards the modern trilogy, and some rightly so, right? Modern Warfare 3 2023 was really bad. So you could say, all right, look, this one wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. It kind of failed, and you know, our sales are kind of tanking a bit, and we're not doing as good as we should have been doing. So there's a lot of trust loss within the fan base, and a lot of maybe even Call of Duty fatigue going around. So what if we went back, like, because they love to do this shit, they love to pull on the nostalgia string. On a personal level, I would like to do something completely new, but they do like to do this, so they can kind of restructure and reshift focus and say, all right, let's go back to the original Modern Warfare trilogy. Let's put to rest the new modern one, and let's continue that story, and let's release one more game, one more story, Modern Warfare 4, that followed the original ending of MW3. With the Modern Warfare 3 campaign remaster coming out and doing well, they could say, all right, let's continue this story here and get another 1 or 2 Modern Warfare games out. Is that something that you want? I don't know. It feels like a lot of people really love Modern Warfare. It feels like a lot of people really love the Modern Warfare story, and specifically the original Modern Warfare story. So I don't know. It could be a new way to bring something old back without having to redo it. A lot of people hated what how Zakayev was done in this new current Modern Warfare trilogy that we're in. They hated how they handled Soap. They hated how they turned Price into a certain way. They hated how Makarov acted. So you could get rid of all that and just continue the story that ended in the original Modern Warfare 3 game. And all the stuff that happened is already going to happen, but we're going to be in a new chapter. I hope you guys understand what I mean. Sometimes I talk so much fucking shit that I get a little confused. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna fucking bullshit you. I get confused and I'm like, what the fuck am I even making sense? So I really hope that I am making sense, but I wanted to talk about this ending, the secret ending, because today, again, on January 22nd, there's supposed to be a Xbox Developers Direct, and there might be a release or a trailer or an announcement for a Modern Warfare 3 campaign remaster. So if that does happen, I think this kind of conversation is interesting to have. So we'll keep an eye on that. If there is a reveal, expect a second video after the event today.